Look over there! There's more mountains. We should go and explore and map them.
Yes. What are these fantastic creatures with massive horns coming out of their head?
Goats!
Goats!
They're goats.
Ah.
Giant goats.
Objection.
Team Ireland?
Goats aren't that big, and you seem to be making them like huge wildebeests.
Okay, continue mapping Canada.
For sure that goat isn't that big.
No, I'm sure it isn't.
I have seen a bigger goat at my aunt's house in Kilmartin province.
See, I saw a bigger goat in Limerick.
Oh, my goat's bigger than your goat.
I'm sure my goat is bigger than your goat.
Let's have an X Factor style goat off, right?
Objection.
Yes, Team Wales.
Just, there aren't goats in Limerick. I'm sure of it.
There are pet goats.
They don't count, they're not indigenous.
Racist.
Alright, Team Wales, continue mapping.
I saw bigger goats in County Durham that is full of goats. Durham? Where is that?
Durham.
Yes.
Objection!
Where is Durham?
Team Ireland.
Might not actually be in Ireland.
Durham is not in Ireland or Wales.
Also, we're meant to be mapping Canada.
Oh, but back to the cartography. Right, I've got my map here. There are mountains over there. There appear to be no mountains on the map. Does that mean we're in the wrong place, or I should draw them on?
I think you need to draw them on.
Just draw them on?
Draw them on.
Okay, give me a pen, right.
I haven't got any pens, but I can use goat blood.
Goat blood. $3.99 from Aldi.
Team Wales.
When they were cartographing, they didn't use pens. Don't be silly. Back
We
then,
didn't use pens.
we
That was
used
the point
goat
of
blood.
the
You didn't even know what a pen was.
I'm sorry. I'm
In this
against
era.
objection.
A quill?
Team Wales can continue because
Oh.
I'd like to see what they attempt to use.
We're going to use a pencil instead. Objection. Completely unoriginal.
I'm
That was
falling asleep already.
pretty unoriginal. Team Ireland, take over.
It's a magic pencil fueled by goat blood.
Objection.
Team Wales.
You're just stereotyping now.
Yes, to be
The
honest,
well-known goat blood stereotype of Ireland.
I think it's the accent. It's starting to confuse us all as to where you are from.
Oh.
Right, Team Wales, crack on.
We'll use a stylus made of coal and then we'll write with that on the map.
That'd be fantastic. So I've got
Objection. Okay, how comes Harry is the only one not doing an accent?
Oh, we're supposed to be doing accents. Well, not really, but it seems to be the trend.
Well, it
It's,
seems...
you get points for it.
Oh, all right. I'm sorry. No, we said do an accent, not have a stroke.
We're going to stay with Team Wales because I'd quite like to hear Harry's accent.
Okay.
Shall we continue
Right,
cartography?
I've got the goats here. We can use their skins to Norwegian. Objection.
Objection.
He's supposed to be from Wales and he's from Norway.
Just general objection to that.
Objection. He's from a very remote town somewhere in the valley.
Objection to the objection.
Objection. No, he isn't. He just isn't.
I am from the valleys.
Oh my.
No, actually, on reflection, you can have that.
Thank you.
But enough about this pencil. We need to go forth and create a new land where we can sit and have bagels.
And kill goats.
And kill goats, as you say, but in a kind and gentle manner.
We can cuddle them to death.
Cuddle them with kindness and death.
Yes. But before we do that, we have to go and think of a name for this lake.
I'm thinking Manada.
I'm thinking lake.
Now, Lakes, it's a good attempt, and it does tell you what's going on, but it's not overly original.
There, because I'm getting bored. I'm going to start Team Wales off on a new fact. And seeing as we're talking about Canada rather than Ireland or Wales, we'll stick to that. Canada has the world's smallest prison.
This prison is dead small, isn't it?
It is a little. How do you think we're going to get out of here?
I don't know, but we're very sort of tight. Just squished up together in this tiny little cell.
That actually kind of makes the need to escape more pressing now I think about it. I really don't want to be cramped up this close to you.
It's a bit warm in here.
Team Ireland.
It's getting a little hot for me.
It is. It's getting a bit much. We'll switch over to you two.
Sure, I couldn't afford a bigger jail, but it's snug in here, and I'm with you.
Yeah. Why did you have to kill so many goats?
Because they looked at me wrong. If a goat looks at you wrong, what are you going to do? Not stab it in the face with a shillelagh? I don't think so.
Well, now
Objection!
Team Wales.
A shillelagh is a stick of wood. You can't stab someone.
I think if you're determined enough, you can.
I'm going to pass it on to Team Wales, just to give them a go.
You see, what I did is I whittled the shillelagh into a sharp point and stabbed them with that.
You shillelagh whittling swine that you are. How could you
Yes.
do that to all those goats? You shish kebabbed them on the shishkalele.
Objection.
Yes.
The shishkalele is incredible but wrong.
Yeah, it's a wonderful word. What was that other one you made up?
That would be a carbuncle or a cavacle.
Cavacle.
And let's not forget the kitchen scarf.
And the kitchen
scarf.
scarf, of course. Well,
That's a legit piece of fashionable
fond
clothing.
memories to be made. Let's have a song and go back to real words afterwards, please. That would be good. Okay, that would be fantastic.
We'll find out.
And we're back, Student Improv Nottingham, with the Wales versus Ireland special. And it comes down to this one final game called Expert. Of course, everyone knows their own country. They've researched it well, so they should be experts on every single piece of information.
Oh, there's hills and stuff in Ireland.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm going to give you a bit of information and you're going to elaborate on it for me so that myself and Martin can learn. We're going to start with Tim.
Bad move.
Tell me about making a mess of everything.
Well, the Irish government has made a mess of everything over the last couple of years. The tiger economy has died, their historical artefacts are crumbling to dust, and their accent is ridiculous. So, what have we learned? Don't elect people to a government. Have an anarchist government. Just have bun fights, general punching, pints and pints of Guinness to just lubricate everything along, and then you can have a wonderful government made of loveliness and happiness and leprechauns.
I was going to ask if you wanted an educated guess, but that probably was your educated guess.
What kind of making a mess of everything?
Yes.
Is it what Cromwell said just before he sorted everything out?
Well, that is a better guess than your first one. No, actually. Medieval law allowed a man to divorce his wife if she damaged his honour by making a mess of everything.
I love that kind of law.
Emily?
You've been accused of getting it all wrong a bit. So that's
Emily's
3
next,
years in
Tim.
prison.
Relinquish the microphone.
Thank you.
Got another one down here.
Oh dear.
Emily, your statistic is 88%.
Well, in Ireland, it is a well-known fact that leprechauns are a big part of the culture, being completely realistic, completely real, and genuinely existing in life. So, when asked recently how many people thought that children had actually been fathered by leprechauns who came in the middle of the night and left pots of gold around, the statistic said 88%. Mostly by wistful women who wished that one day those tiny little gentlemen could trip through their bedroom windows.
Introduced him to the tiny little gentleman.
Would you like to make an educated guess?
No.
88% are Roman Catholic.
Oh, that's fun.
I know. Right, we'll move on to Harry. Tell
Okay.
me about Welsh Rabbit.
Welsh rabbit it's like a hare, like a bunny rabbit, but it's also what you do. You skin it and then you take the meat and then you put it on toast with cheese, and then but it's not very common, that dish, and that's why they call it Welsh rarebit.
Oh, what's a pun?
Yeah.
Yes, I liked it. What's your guess? Education-wise.
Welsh rabbit.
Yes.
Rabbit.
Yes,
Okay.
it's
The Welsh rabbits are there's a large Welsh rabbit. The largest rabbit in the world is from Wales. Is that
The
right?
Welsh national dish, isn't it?
it's cheese and spices on toast.
Oh.
Cheese and ale, actually.
Cheese and ale. Whoa.
You couldn't even keep it off of toast. Even on toast, you just had to pour some ale on.
Dan, tell me about 3 million versus 12 million.
3 million versus 12 million. Well, after the Battle of Thermopylae, where King Leonidas and his 300 Spartans fought off the Persian Empire, the Persians got a bit bored and came up to the valleys, and then those 12 million Persians fought against 3 million angry Welsh rugby players who fought them off after about an hour and a half during the break.
Is that your real guess?
No. Is it the number of Welsh people versus the number of sheep in the country?
It is indeed. Point for Dan.
Hey, can I get a point for a fact?
Well, what is it?
Thermopylae means hot gate.
Oh, no. All right, Tim, tell me about the gentleman that pays the rent.
Well, of course, the gentleman that pays the rent in my house is my father. He is Lord Nicholbus Thruffleby III. He owns most of Ireland. He had a land grab in the 18th century where he punched an Irish lord in the face and then drank him under the table. We have owned Ireland for now 265 years, and I think it's going pretty well. There's no problems, there's no poverty, and we keep the local population subdued with reruns of X Factor and just generally waving Jedward around.
And seeing as that's the right answer, we'll have to move on to the... Would you like to guess?
I've forgotten who pays the rent.
The gentleman that pays the rent.
Is that in some sort of medieval law, the legally designated rent payer was referred to as the gentleman who pays the rent, or does it mean that you're a child of the night?
He's a pig that's been allowed to live indoors.
Well, I refute that.
Emily, tell me about Dame Alice Keitler.
Dame Alice Keitler is one of the most influential and important people in the entire north and indeed the south of Ireland, mostly famed for being able to create the kite. How did she do this, you may ask? Well, she went around and she found all the pigs who live indoors and she killed them, and then she skinned them and she made them into a ginormous kite which she flew around and then threw the excrement from the pigs into the houses of people she didn't like.
Okay, and your actual guess?
What was the question?
Dame Alice Keitler?
Sounds German.
Was she an interpretive dancer who portrayed the entire history of Ireland through the medium of song and dance?
She was the last witch. Born in... Oh, I didn't write that down. Oh, that's upsetting.
Did you write born in and then just a gap?
It says born in last witch.
She was never born.
Oh, right, Harry. Tell me about Welsh gypsies.
Welsh gypsies are a interesting breed of gypsy. In the fact that they've never before been seen on that television show Big Fat Gypsy Weddings, and this lends them to they're very secretive and they don't like people muscling in on their business, which is fair enough.
Fear in his eyes while he's doing it. Don't say something bad. Don't.
Could we have an interesting fact about them? What's the main guess that you're going for?
There are none. It's a trick question. They do not exist.
They were the last to speak Romany.
Oh.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Harry. Here, have a point. Yeah. Anyway.
A sympathy point.
Oh, a pity point.
All right, Dan, if you're actually, very clever and know this, please make up something funny first.
I'll try.
Tell us about the ugly house.
The ugly house is where the ugly man lives with his ugly wife and his ugly pet dog. And they are the most hated people in all of Wales, and every year on Christmas Eve, the entire population of the country gathers there and throws soup down into the valley where the ugly house is, and laughs.
What flavour soup?
Tomato.
Oh, that's very important.
Because it's nice and viscous.
That's very important. Right, do you know what the ugly house is?
No, I do not.
Is it the Parliament?
The ugly house is a little house in Wales, and due to a loophole in the law in 1475, if a man was able to build a house with certain features in one day, he was allowed to keep it.
Ah.
And it's still there. Isn't that a nice fact?
That is.
Did you enjoy that, everyone? I hope that one's right, because someone keeps telling me off. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody. The final scores are Dan has 5, Tim has 5, Emily has 4, and Harry has 7. Yes! Mostly because of pity points, Harry, but you're still the winner. Which means that Team Wales has won overall.
Oh.
Tidy.
But we're all winners.
I don't think we are.
No. We all love every culture and every country. Wave your hands, everyone.
Tim, I'm dividing
Give
away
each other a hug.
I'm forming a republic.
Emily, no!
Oh, well, that's an upsetting end. We've been Student Improv Nottingham. We'll be back next week with the Impressions show. And now we're going to play another fine episode of Gag.